Do you believe in hypnotism? Obviously if there's a word for it, it's a thing. Well, yeah, but do you believe that if I know how to do it, that I'll be able to yield some kind of power over you or something? I mean, yeah, if you know what you're doing. But real hypnotism is one of like the hardest things and kind of impressive things that people can master. I don't know if I believe that somebody could yield some kind of like spooky power over me without me having some sort of control. Oh, come on, seriously? We share the same headspace. You don't even need proof to know that it's conceptually possible. Okay, B, explain to me how it is conceptually possible. And please, make it short and easy to understand. That's not a tall order. Okay, Breezy, when you're asleep, you're not consciously aware of what's going on in your headspace, are you? No. Exactly, and did you know that when I tell your brain to do something, it will do it reflexively? I don't know about that. Okay, Breezy, imagine a classic smiley face. Now imagine people hugging. Now imagine us as friends. Okay, why am I doing this? Because I told you to, and when I tell you to do something, your brain does it reflexively. Okay, I get it. Language. And if I know the code well enough, then I can get in there and change the programming. Okay, seriously, if this is so real, then why aren't there people out there doing this just like all the time? There are. Have you ever heard of NLP? It's called Neuro-Linguistic Programming. It's what salespeople use to sell you stuff. Well, good salespeople anyways. Okay, can you make the next video on NLP? Oh, we would have so much fun talking about that. We'll see though, that's complicated. No, it's only complex if you make it that way. We'll make it simple and fun. Just like with hypnotism. Let's talk about the toolbox of a hypnotist. We already know that they use NLP, and you'll be excited to find out that they use metaphors. Wait, hold on, what exactly does NLP do? Well, so NLP basically gives you control of the conversation. Sometimes to get people to believe you, you just have to word it in a certain way, in a certain tone, at a certain speed. It also determines the way a person feels towards you. It determines whether or not they trust you. It's scary, but you can trick someone into thinking that you're just like them. And then, so when you tell them something, they just take your word for it. Okay, so let's talk really quick about your brain. Ooh, I love talking about the brain. Have fun when you realize how easy and simple life is when you understand the human mind. Okay, so you've got your conscious mind and your unconscious mind, which is like a soup. So your unconscious mind is so much smarter than your conscious mind because it knows so much more. You know, like that's why your gut feeling is so powerful, because that's your subconscious, which is so smart, being like, no. Right, and be interested in knowing that your unconscious mind feeds ideas into your conscious mind. If you put all the ingredients in there, then it'll put stuff together a certain way, and that is how people will give you ideas and implant them into your head. Now, I'm not training you guys to be manipulative, but you are going to learn how other people do it to you so that you are not as easily manipulated. Now, you're too smart for them. Now, ladies, a classic move that men make is they use indirect hypnosis to get you to have sex with them. So, how do they do this? Okay, so I'm going to teach you the process of indirect hypnosis, and if you want to actually remember it, then I suggest you practice doing it from time to time. Okay, so you're going to start off matching the person's voice tone, the speed that they talk, the words that they use, and other NLP kind of stuff. And yeah, I guess we're just going to have to officially cover that in the next video. Ooh, goody, that is very exciting news. It is very exciting news. Okay, so the next thing that they'll do is they'll start to insert commands into the conversation. But you won't know that they're doing it because they'll start off with something like, oh yeah, my friend was telling me that, insert command here. The types of commands that they'll say is like, feel safe, feel comfortable, trust me. Really bold guys might go as far as to say, want me inside you. You know, for example, they might say,
my friend was telling me that you need to want me inside you before you share any of the ideas that are deep inside your head. But I think that you just need to trust me and feel comfortable with me coming this close to you.
See, they'll take these words and they'll shuffle them around and disguise them in normal conversation, and they'll act like they're just being normal, but actually they're commanding you to get horny. Another thing that they'll do is they'll say something that you're doing and then follow that up with a command. So like, for example, they might say,
as you stand there with your drink, I imagine you plan on doing anything to get me in bed. Don't say that's not what you wouldn't do if I wasn't the one you shouldn't be talking to.
That last sentence is called a string of negatives. They use that to distract you from the fact that they just gave you a dirty command. Never trust nobody who does double negatives. So if someone says,
I haven't ever not done that,
that is a tool and they're doing it to confuse you, because nobody does that normally unless they're confused. It is a great way to get someone to forget something though. Alright then, there you go. There's some of the creepy techniques that people use to manipulate you. and other people, because you're not the kind that gets manipulated. I love you. Understand the human mind. If I could get you to think certain them in normal conversation when basically they're commanding you to have bleh. It's scary, but you can trick someone into thinking that they're techniques that people use to bring it. You make the next video on NLP. Conceptually possible. And please make it